Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing some tips on how to save money on groceries. I did a similar video on my channel a couple years ago, so I'll link that in the description if you're looking for even more tips. But in this video, I'm not going to be talking about clipping coupons or any kinds of apps. My first tip is to have a Need Me Soon section on your grocery list. This is for things that you're not out of or don't need quite yet, but you know you will within the next couple weeks. When you get to the grocery store, you can see if any of these items happen to be on sale that week. If they are, go ahead and grab them because you know you'll need them soon. Might as well get a good deal on them. If they're not on sale, you know they can wait until your next trip. My second tip is always compare unit prices. Some grocery stores will make this easy and they'll actually list it out for you what the cost per ounce or cost per each is. But even if they don't, you can always divide the cost of the item by the quantity of the item, and that will give you the unit price. If you do that for two items that come in two separate sizes of container, you can figure out which one is actually more affordable, and oftentimes it will be the bigger container, the bulk buy item, but not always. My next tip is to shop seasonal produce. You can find some really easy to read charts online that will just list out all the months of the year and show what fruits and vegetables are in season for those months. So you just look at the month we're currently in, see what fruits and vegetables are in season that you enjoy, and select those rather than something that is out of season. In-season produce is typically cheaper and fresher, so you're getting a better quality for your dollar. My next tip is to utilize some meal planning strategies. Now, if you're new to meal planning, I've got a couple videos on my channel about it, so I'll leave those down in the description for you. But essentially, meal planning will make sure that you are only buying the things that you really are going to use and not just buying random ingredients and trying to figure out how to make a meal out of them later. And you'll decrease the amount of food that ends up unused in the back of your fridge and going bad. My next tip is to make a price list. Now, this doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can just be in the Notes app on your phone or even on a piece of paper. And all you need to do is jot down the item and the best price that you found for it. You don't need to do this for everything that you buy, although you certainly could. I'll typically do this with like junk food kind of items, so like ice cream, cookies, stuff like that, that I don't buy often enough to necessarily remember what a good price for it is, but I know I will buy from time to time. This can stop you from getting enticed into buying something just because it's on sale, because if something's on sale, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good price. Especially if it's a bit of like a nicer grocery store, they might have, inflated prices, and then that sale price might not even be as good as the regular price somewhere else. So whenever you see something's on sale, you can check your price list and see if that sale is better than the best sale that you have found on it before, and kind of compare and decide whether or not it's a good deal. And my last tip is to consider ordering your groceries online if you can get a free pickup. Since you're not walking through the store, it's much less likely that you'll see something interesting and make an impulse purchase. Ordering online is amazing if you're on a budget because you can see your subtotal as you're adding things to your cart. So if you are under a really tight budget constraint, you can, continue adding things to your cart until you kind of meet that limit. Now, of course, you could replicate this strategy physically shopping in the store and just use a calculator on your phone or something to write down every time you add something to your cart how much it was and see that way. But when you're shopping online, it makes so much more sense because, if you need eggs and milk and meat and bread, you can add all that stuff to your cart first, see what your subtotal is, and then go on to add, the chips and the cookies and the other things that are not necessarily necessities. So you can, organize your grocery list based on what's most important to you. And if you're on a tight budget, you can see exactly how many of those extra things you can add on. Whereas when you're physically shopping in the store, it doesn't necessarily make sense to walk, back and forth across various ends of the store just to, select your items in a specific order. Let me know in the comments below if you use any of these tips or if you have any tips of your own to save money on groceries. I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you like it if you did. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.